assume that space-time curvature is expanding because that's the basis that we have. And then with that, right, we have to have a start, right? Now we have to take obviously into account the first thing we have to do is the space-time curvature cycle, right? So we assume that, right? Now from the cycle expansion with contraction dynamics, right, we have to return and do the exact same equations in reverse, right? But the only way we can do that is by applying a thermodynamic property, right? So within that system, we have to assume that if things get hot, things get cold, right? So no matter what, we're still incorporating a constant, right? Because it's a system, right? Now from this system, when we have entropy behavior and energy distribution, when we have a sum that represents the fucking total more or less entropy of a universe, we just make that a number that can be more, less, or everything, right? More or less, to explain it. And then when we apply that with the second law of thermodynamics, and when we're still adding a change of entropy, right, that... Hello? Frick. I gotta do it a little better, right? So when we have within the system, right, and we apply the rule of my assumed fourth law of thermodynamics, because we've incorporated mass into the system, right, that now, through this system, that we have a method, right, of expansion, right? And then through that expansion, we have to assume that because a fucking total mass expansion happens because everything happens. Because A, B, C, D, E, F, G, mass and temperature need to react in a certain way regardless, right? Because they have to. Now, within that system, within the scaling factor, when we apply the equation again, when we have the internet limit and the expanded universe to mass densities, right? When we have that in forms of the speed of light, right? We have original speed of light in a vacuum, that when we incorporate this, we still have mass density and threshold of mass density, which is going to determine light flow, right? These are basic things. So from this system, we now have a role of negative energy and within a constant that we have to assume that is a regulating medium. And with that, right now, like those things aren't much to follow. But the fact of the matter is, if